Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. If anybody's on, can you hear me? Testing, testing 1, 2, 3. Testing, testing 1, 2, 3. Amanda, does that sound okay? Am I muffled at all? Okay, I'm going to test the video really quickly. So let me know if you can see this. 1 second. I just love moving my screens around. Okay, so can you see my screen? You can't save the chat since, okay. So let's see. Yes, can see your screen. Okay. So let's see. Tell me if I go into play. There's a couple things I want to test really quickly. If anybody's hopping on early, they get to see behind the scenes testing. Da 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 da. Oh my goodness. Okay, hold on a second. Okay, here it is. Can you see that and hear that, Amanda? Okay, so you can't hear it. What about this one? Can you hear that at all? Okay, what about now? Can you hear it now? Ah! I wonder why the audio won't play. All right, well, I can just talk about it. It's all good. Okay, so Amanda, can you see I'm on slide 1?
So I have the chat box opened up on my screen. Can you see that too? Yes, you can see the chat box. Okay, so I'll close that in just a minute because it will distract me. Oh, audio options, video settings. Where do I record comments? Oh, so you can't see the chat screen on mine? Hi, Beverly. Thanks for hopping on. You're early. Amanda and I are just testing out the audio here. Hmm. Beverly, where are you calling in from today? Hi, Krista. Hi, Sharonda. Thanks so much for joining, guys. Can y'all hear me okay? Can y'all type in the chat box and let me know? Yay, Christina can hear me. Sharonda, yay. Thanks, ladies. Afrain? Is that how you say your name? Oh my gosh, I don't want to butcher that. Afrain? What a pretty name. Yay! Where are you calling in from? We are going to be getting started in just a moment. Pennsylvania and Beverly, Georgia. Where's Fort Stewart? Is that by Atlanta? Huntsville, Alabama. Ooh, my family's from Biloxi. We go through Huntsville and we used to always stop at the Space Center when I was growing up. And they had good ice, like Sonic ice. Oh, it's a military base. Got it. We are close to Fort Campbell in Nashville. Hi, Eric. Thanks for joining us. Can you hear me okay? Hi, Aja. Thanks for hopping on. We are going to get started in about 60 seconds. So, if you need to run to the bathroom or get water or get paper and pen to take notes, which I don't say that very often, but I know some people have a hard time typing their notes on their phone and listening to the webinar at the same time. If your brain's not conditioned to do that just yet, Eric from Jolton, Tennessee. That's not too far away. How many of you all own your own business? Type a Y for yes. I want to see how many business owners we have on here. Hey, Curry, what's up? Efrain, you have a small business. Awesome. I want y'all to shut off all your distractions because what we are about to go through is a lot of information, but it's for you. And if you have any tech challenges, just type it in the chat box. Amanda is here to help with that. And in using Zoom a lot, I have found that Chrome typically works a little bit better than Safari. And you'll just want to make sure you have good internet. All right, y'all. So we are going to go ahead and get started. Can everybody see my screen? And can you hear me okay? If you can give me a Y for yes. Awesome. Thank you, Christina. So here we go. Welcome to the profit system for wedding professionals. Oh, Robert, you can barely hear me on your end. Turn up your volume. I don't know if you're on a phone or a computer. I got my volume cranked up pretty high. I don't want to be too loud in y'all's ear. So let me know. So today I'm going to talk about how to read your clients' needs so you can double your profits, do half the events, and finally get paid what you are worth. So, what you're going to discover today is a 3-step system. And honestly, it's dramatically changed everything for me. I'm going to go over how to do half the events and stop saying actually yes to the wrong clients and identifying the right clients. It's really hard to say no. I don't know if you guys have that trouble, but I do. And I really want you to know the psychology secret that will double your profits. Y'all, Google and Microsoft use this system. And so you can use it to better communicate with your clients. And the exact process to follow on how to read your clients to ensure you are getting paid what you are worth, which will increase your profit by working smarter, not harder. So, I actually will make you a virtual bet since we're all on technology here that no one's using all of these strategies exactly the way that I'm going to share with you today. And I know that all of you on this webinar, honestly, if you follow the system, you can do this too. So, this is for you if you are finding yourself working weddings and events for fun or free, which is how most of us start in this industry, right? Looking for ways to streamline your process and create a solid experience, and wanting to get paid what you are worth and stop haggling with prices. This information today that I'm going to give you, it's really vital for you to hear today. So shut off all those distractions. All right, so I'm taking you back to Harry Potter world, which I don't really understand. But if you can imagine that you can wave a magic wand, if you could read your clients' minds to ensure that they are really a good fit, and if you could wave a wand and get more organized by having a process and communicating with your team, do you love what you do full time? And do you love making money doing what you do? So that's what I want you to think about as I go through all of this today. How would it make you feel like if you could wave that magic wand and that happened? Would that not be incredible? Because that's what you're going to learn today. For those of you who don't know me that well, this is me with Lily and Pepe, my babies, my puppies. I've been in the industry almost 20 years now, and I'm really known for two things: psychology and being blunt, telling you how it is with a smile on my face, and technology. I love software systems and processes, and I love being productive, and I hate wasting time. I don't know about you guys. So, if you don't know anything about what I do, I just want to go through a few quick things of why it might be a good idea to listen today, because I've really learned how to put boundaries in place. And when we love making people happy, it's really, really hard to do that. So, are you glued to your iPhone 24/7, or you feel like you're in email jail? You feel burnt out, unhealthy, not sleeping, your hair falling out, weight gain. I've been there. Like, all this stuff has happened to me. So I understand how you feel. And pre qualifying clients so that you actually take the type of events that you want to work. So, doing over hundreds and hundreds of events a year, not really making any money, like that happened to me because I didn't know how to appropriately charge. And being busy doesn't mean you are busy doing what you love doing and that you're busy doing the right things that you should be doing. So, by hiring the right team members, um, I'm much, much more successful. I'm surrounded by wonderful people, but it took me a little bit to get there because I used to hire my friends and all the wrong people. And I would hire people that I like. And really, what is the key to your business is hiring people that are not like you, who don't think like you do. And honestly, I have overcome tragedy, which those of you who live in Nashville or you're from Nashville, you know that Nashville flooded May 2010, but I feel like it was just yesterday. And you know what? These things are hard, and I've been through all of them. I've published 8 books for the industry, for the weddings and the events industry. My business practices have been featured on a couple television shows, and here's a couple of the stations that we've been featured on. We've been featured in lots of magazines. I think my favorite last year, it was really cool to be named one of the People 25 Young Event Pros to Watch under 40. It was really an honor. And having a feature interview by Success Magazine for being paperless and embracing technology in the events industry, there's Tony Robbins there on the front. It's really helped me leverage a leadership role in this industry. So, there are lots of free resources that are listed on my website that are totally dedicated to professionals. I have a podcast called Weddings Unveiled, an email list. Hopefully, you're signed up on it if you're here on this webinar. I've got a membership group to support the industry called the Inner Circle. Lots and lots of free videos on YouTube under Angela Profit, and a blog. We try to blog pretty consistently. It's really my vault of knowledge of how I can share my thoughts and what's going on in the industry. So I've traveled all around the world speaking and teaching, and really talking about this very process that you're seeing today. So, a couple places I've been: Antigua, Mexico, Necker Island, Nevis, Peter Island, St. Lucia, Jamaica, Hawaii, London, Italy, to name a few. And I'm not kidding. I don't know where I'm going half the time. I just get on the plane and I go because I truly love to help people. So, working with clients in the public eye, known as celebrities, it really is a challenge. To me, they're people just like us, and I treat everyone the same. It's really best practices, right? The only difference is the people that are in the public eye, it's security and privacy. And so I'm going to share with you confidentially a few people that I've had the honor and opportunity to work with. Kelly Pickler, she is a country music singer and now a TV personality. She really gained her fame when she was a contestant on the 5th season of American Idol. And here is Kelly and Kyle on Jumbie Bay Island. My gosh, this was almost like 8 years ago, I think. Hillary Scott, she is also a country singer and an amazing songwriter, and she's the co-lead singer of Lady Antebellum. Here is Hillary and Chris when they got married in New York, which they had a beautiful, intimate winter wedding. It was in the groom's hometown of Albany, New York. And let me tell you, I learned about a lot about New York when I was up there doing that wedding. Jason Aldean. Jason's also a country singer. He's known as Entertainer of the Year for the past 3 years by CMA Awards and has released 8 albums and 24 singles in the country world. Here is Jason and Brittany in Playa del Carmen, Mexico. And Willie from Duck Dynasty married them. He's actually one of Jason's best friends. They hunt together. And they were actually like an absolute blast to work with. This is Patrick Carney. He is a musician and a producer. He's known for the drummer of the Black Keys, which is a blues and rock band. I don't really listen to blues, so I had no clue who he was when I started working with him until we were out in public and people asked me, or actually they came up and asked him for his autograph. And when we got in my car, I looked at Emily, the bride, and I'm like, who is he? And she just laughed. He had just been on the cover of Rolling Stone. So clearly I live under a rock. So here was Emily and Patrick. They were married by one of their best friends, Will Forte, on Saturday Night Live, and he's an actor. He was so nervous, like there wasn't a teleprompter, and he was kind of like freaking out on me. It was funny. They got married in their backyard at their private home in Nashville. And thank God the weather was perfect because we turned their backyard into this amazing experience with like 400 plus guests. They were really from all around the world. We had food trucks come in and just all kinds of fun stuff. So we did really, really well keeping that a secret. You really have to keep the plans confidential when people are in the public eye. And the way that the world found out about Patrick and Emily's marriage, this is Shaun White, which I didn't know who that was either. Apparently, he's an Olympian, snowboarder, winner. He had a little bit too much to drink, and he was escorted back to the hotel around 3 a.m. He pulled the fire alarm at the hotel, and guess what? That led him to jail. And so publicly, he apologized to everyone and told them that he was in town for Emily and Patrick's wedding. So that did not go over so well with the publicist, right? I've gotten to work with Eddie George. He is an American football player. I don't think he plays football anymore, but he used to play for the Titans. And now he's a judge on NBC's reality competition show called American Dream Builders. So this is Eddie and Taj. If you grew up in the 90s, Taj was the lead singer of SWV. I loved that trio. And they have their own show on WeTV. So we actually did their 10th year reunion for a reality show that she was filming. It was really funny. I would say my favorite place that I've been getting to tour Necker Island for a client. It's really one of the most exotic places I've ever been. And there's all these animals that they're like one of a kind. They're completely becoming extinct, actually. So Richard Branson is the owner of Necker Island, and he is one of the entrepreneurs that I really, really, really look up to. He is an investor. He founded Virgin Group. He owns and controls like over 400 companies. And this is one of my favorite sayings. If somebody offers you an amazing opportunity, but you're not sure you can do it, just say yes and then learn how to do it later. Like, y'all, that's literally how I've grown to where I am today. And so, my story and why it matters to you, hopefully, you will get lots of nuggets out of saving time. Oh, Beverly, you can't see the pictures? Let's see. Is anybody else having trouble seeing pictures? Amanda, if you can help Beverly out. So, I want to introduce you to one of my friends. This is Annette from New York, and Annette is awesome. Really, people ask me, like, why do you do this? Why do you teach this? Well, I like to help others. And Annette is using the exact same system that I'm talking to you guys about today. When I met her at a conference, like, she's like, oh, I've heard so many coaches and I still can't get my business together. And she was literally like kicking and screaming, which she says right here. And she went paperless at the beginning of the year, a couple years ago. And she said it was so worth it. She said, learning from you was so much fun. Your workshop was the best workshop I attended. And she really has been to hundreds. She's not exaggerating. And so she never looked back. So that is something to know. A little bit about my backstory. I taught gymnastics, and I feel like a lot of my structure and discipline in business comes from me growing up and being involved in sports. Like, I actually started teaching when I was 13 years old. I went to UT Knoxville, go Vols. We were good when I was there. Peyton Manning and T. Martin were there. They were like the star players. And I started out going to nursing school there. My first healthcare job was at a morgue. Quick disclosure, I did not know it was with dead people, but I learned a lot, and I learned what I did not want to do. Let me check out these pictures real quick. Oh, let's see. So, Beverly, let's see if Amanda can help you out. If you want to put your phone number in here, I can have Amanda call you too. I want to let you know that I did, again, learn a few things at the morgue. So I did my final internship in healthcare and mental health at a mental health hospital. And I learned that a lot of people, they're really, really sick. It was the saddest, most depressing thing. And y'all, I love people and I love to help, but this was not my calling at all. The thing is, though, 1 week after graduation, something horrible happened, which now I reference as an opportunity. Okay. So, have you ever been in the middle of doing something and your computer just crashes and you get this thing called a virus? Well, back in the day, this is what my computer looks like. And it was right in the middle of doing something, and then it just crashed. So it was like back in the day when the towers were really tall, and I'll never forget like having to carry it to my car because it was just so stinking heavy. And I took it into the computer doctor in Florida. I didn't know anybody there. And the man was like, honey, did you not back it up? I'm like, back it up. And he's like, yeah, on a floppy drive. I'm like, well, um, I, I didn't even know what that was. Okay. I lost everything. I lost everything on my computer. And most importantly, my patient notes in order to graduate. And I had to stay up 3 nights in a row to reproduce 6 months worth of patient records in order to graduate. Like, I didn't really like school, so I was not staying in school any longer. So when I'm asked, like, why are you such a tech nerd? This is probably the number one reason. So I love like that after floppy drives, jump drives, and time capsules, and hard drive, and iCloud, and Google Drive, and Dropbox, and Carbonite. Like, they're all really, really, really important. Within the same week, my car was broken into. You know, they say when it rains, it pours. Um, I just don't even understand like why this would happen. It's like things happen and it's like, why would this happen to me? And I didn't care about my purse. I didn't care about any of that. I really, really cared about my planner. Do y'all have a planner? I really, really loved my monogram on the front of it, and it had like all my to-dos in it. I was like completely mortified. Um, so I was just really depressed. So if those of you if you have a paper planner, can you let me know? Am I the only one like this? Give me a Y for a yes. Um, so again, like I was just completely depressed. Little did I know that like years later I would be managing millions of details and dollars. So luckily, okay, anybody do this like with post-it notes or anything like that? Christina's like, yeah. Oh, you see Eddie and his wife. Yay. So we are on the slide that is showing medical records, Ashley. So you do that too with Planner. Okay, so it's just not me. Well, luckily, this was right around the time that the hospital started to implement EMR, electronic medical records, and I started to learn about technology and how powerful going paperless could really be. So I did graduate on time, and I moved back to Nashville because I honestly didn't like Florida, and I had no clue what I was going to do. But I know that I did not want to work in mental health, and I could say that my parents were slightly not happy with me. So, a friend of mine that worked at a hospital told me about an opening that was at the AIDS clinic for a therapist position. So, I continued to learn about EMR and how it was changing the healthcare world. And so, we started to implement like online calendars and taking patient notes. It was actually really cool. So I did that for a little bit. And then I loved the tech side so much that I actually transferred departments and I worked in joint commission, which led me on to physician relations. Now, this whole time when I moved back to Nashville, I had a healthcare career. It was on the rise and I was planning weddings for fun on the side for my local church. And it's like my parents' friends' kids were getting married. And like, I never in a million years thought, I would work in the wedding industry because my family owned a venue for 35 years. And it was just something fun that I did in the summertime. And I never, ever thought I would own my own business. So my career in healthcare was going really, really well, but I was living a dual life and it was really starting to collide. I really don't know how I did it. You know that saying, when it rains, it pours. And like I'm like looking up at the sky, like looking up to God, like what is happening? Like, what are you doing to me? So in 2010, it poured like Nashville completely flooded. And I'm saying like it literally flooded. We had 8 displaced events. This is Interstate 24 underwater. The city pulled together as a community, and it's actually one of the best tragedies that could ever have happened to me. This flood brought opportunity for vendors to actually start listening to me because they didn't back up their files. And so, for fun on the side, there I go again. I started teaching classes showing other creative business owners how they can back up their files and how they can go paperless. And so, when someone asks me, like, what keeps you up at night? I'm like, well, nothing really. But for me, it's the unknown. Like, all these people are counting on me for like this perfect day and a perfect experience. But y'all, I cannot control the weather. Do any of y'all feel that way ever? Give me some yeses if you do. So just honestly, like months after the flood, I got a call from TLC about filming a show for a country artist, and they invited me to interview for the planner designer position. And little did I know, a month later, I would be in the middle of filming a wedding show. And so it really offered like the opportunity for me to get out of healthcare. Like it was time for me to choose and move on. And I knew that I was really happiest when I was planning and designing weddings. I knew I couldn't continue. Like I just could not keep doing both jobs. So I didn't overthink it. I just jumped and I resigned. And it was almost 10 years. I knew that if I kept doing the same thing, I was going to get the same result. And I had a new opportunity. So I went on the road, filmed for months for this wedding. And it was around New Year's 2011. And a month before, I got a call from the bride, and she's like, I need you to come over. And she's like, you're going to be so mad at me, but I don't want to do this filming thing anymore. I just have too much going on. And she very publicly talked about her family life and how it wasn't that great. And so she's like, we're going to stop filming, which by the way, y'all, we did everything except actually film the wedding. And she's like, just find me a private island. And that's where we want to get married, like with just us. And she's like, obviously, I want you, the photographer, the videographer to come. She's like, please don't get upset. In the back of my head, I'm like, well, I kind of quit my career for this. However, honestly, I wasn't mad at all. I knew that they were not that type of couple, and it like brought a lot of drama to the wedding planning. So I was actually extremely, extremely proud of her. So that's what I did. I found a little private island, which I didn't know existed until this day. And I'm really honestly thankful that I spent time networking and happened to know a few people that worked on islands. I didn't even know that these places existed. So here is Kelly Pickler and Kyle getting married on a sandbar in the middle of the water. That was completely unplanned. Photographer had a great idea and we did it. So after that, I returned back to Nashville to tackle 2010 to focus on my business. I knew if I was going to take this wedding business seriously that I needed to really focus and grow my business. I got a license, I got insurance, I joined a couple of organizations to branch out through word of mouth, and I did that. But I kept saying yes to planning weddings over and over and over, which led me to doing all types of events and bar and bat mitzvahs and anniversary parties and birthday parties and conferences. Does that happen to y'all? Yeah, a friend was like, yep, it's happened. So I don't really know I didn't know the first thing about running a business. So let me just back up and tell you that. So I was pretty busy. I was making money. At least I thought I was making a lot of money. Money was in the bank. It kept coming in. I paid off my student loans. I didn't have any debt. And from the outside looking in, it seemed like my business was going so well. But that really wasn't the case. So the year that I hired an accountant, he showed me how out of control my bank account was and my time was. I wasn't charging appropriately at all. And in fact, after working with the accountant and then this business coach, they showed me how many weddings I actually did for free. And I paid people, like over 30 people, to do their weddings, which again was free and then some, which is just awful because we know how hard we work in this industry. So he recommended, my accountant, that I hire this coach. And I thought, my God, I cannot afford another bill on my list. But I knew that things were out of control after he explained it to me. And that was really the day that I knew I wanted to put my headphones on and just listen to music and turn it up as loud as I could and scream, because I don't like running a business. I like to have fun, period. But I knew that I had to do something different. I knew that there had to be a better way, and I had to get help from someone because I did not know what the hell I was doing. So I joined this entrepreneur group, and that's where my life really started to change. I started to get help. I started to ask questions. People started to help me. I did not know what I did not know. And every single member of this entrepreneur group kept telling me, I know the guy for you. So I met with this coach and he asked me two things. So when I say these, you guys think about this too. How are you making any money? I told him there's always money in the bank, but my accountant told me that it's just not working because I don't know how to charge. And then he said, well, what's frustrating you? Well, that was easy for me to answer. I had too many events. I had too many clients asking for a deal, which that is not the point of planners, you guys. And I really get upset when vendors don't deliver because I want to make people's days perfect. And really, my business was running me. I wasn't running it. And then the third question was, he said, what do you want? Why are you doing all of this? What do you want out of life? Okay. And I was speechless. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what I wanted. And it really, really got me thinking. And I was doing all of these things for other people, literally working 24-hour days. So then he said to me, I'm going to give you a worksheet and I want you to fill in these blanks. And the first question said, if I could just, and then it was fill in the blank. And honestly, that was really easy for me too. I thought to myself, if I could just get paid for my time, get paid for my ideas, my organizational skills, my creative mind, and make people understand the value of what I do, then I would stop wasting my time selling to the clients that don't value what I do. And then when we were going through this together, he stopped me and he's like, Angela, I understand how you feel, and we're going to change a bunch of this. And I just like bursted into tears, and I am not a crier, okay, at all. So it took someone from the outside perspective, actually, who was not in our industry, to paint the picture for me. I was an absolute train wreck. He told me, like, if you keep this up, you're going to be bankrupt. And I needed to do things a different way, which was really hard for me. I was really, really stubborn back then. You know, when you're young, you're like, oh, I know everything. But oh my gosh, like I'm learning every day, and I actually appreciate learning. And I had every excuse why not to listen to him. Like, so he threatened to fire me one day. And so then I started to do everything he asked because I'd never been fired before. I mean, I'm a people pleaser. And so he wanted me to change my business model, track my time, split my services in half. So, like, planning would be charged one way and designing would be another. It's actually one of the scariest things I ever did, because honestly, when I meet with clients, they always said yes. My booking rate was 100% until I changed this model. And you know what? It's the best thing I ever did, because it helped me understand what clients were going to pay for my time and value my time. So this business coach, he changed my life. It changed everything. And a couple things that I will say that really, really was the breakthrough for me is I had to keep a calendar, an online calendar that would allow me to put everything on it. I would track everything. I'm like psycho about it now. I didn't want to do it back then, but time blocking has been the best thing that I could have ever done, and scheduling everything. So I schedule all my phone calls, I track everything by client, and like so on. So yeah, it took a little bit of time. It took over a year. Actually, I tracked for an entire year before I could actually feel comfortable and know exactly how long it takes for me to do things. So when people say, how long does it take you to plan an event? I typically need at least 40 to 50 hours, and I'm extremely thorough, and I use a lot of templates so that I don't have to start from scratch, and it saves me time and the client money. And since we book so far in advance in our industry, the breakthrough when it happened, I couldn't even use this new process for a year. I had a whole year of weddings and events that I had to execute on my old contract. You talk about painful. But I will say I started meeting with better clients who actually valued my time and my creative ideas. And honestly, like I just didn't know what I didn't know. And I've been practicing this method for years. We tracked everything, and I've literally mastered this system. So I do have a solution. And like I said, it really has saved my life. And now I'm not going to lie to you, like it took planning and strategy and effort on my part, and all the hard work that I have put into this. It's been so worth it, because as I get older, the quality of my life gets better. Things are totally different. It's the best thing I ever did. I don't waste time on clients anymore that can't afford me. We pre-qualify the hell out of people. And I don't feel like I have to be glued to my phone 24/7. And I can actually spend time with my family and friends and like not feel bad about it. Do any of you guys do that? Do any of y'all feel bad sometimes? It's like, I need to look at my phone. So what I did, I created the profit system. And so I'm going to go into the 3 steps and share those with you. And again, I'm not saying that these are 3 simple steps, because this is not like a get rich quick overnight in a month, 3 steps, because it does take effort on your part to implement, and you've got to create new habits. But I'm going to give you the exact system to get there. If it were easy, y'all, everybody would do it. And you've got to put forth the discipline. And I know that you can do it, because I didn't come up with this. Like, I was taught how to do it. And I'll tell you, after doing this for a year, I can't even explain to you in words how much better the quality of life is. And it really helped me know what the value of my time is. So 1 is psychology. 2, process. And 3, experience and sharing your experience. How many of y'all feel like you work for free? Like, I'm just wondering. This is a safe place. We can all be honest, because I did it for years and I've done it a lot. Not willingly, but like I just didn't know what I didn't know, right? So I just have to tell you guys, like, what I'm going to tell you, what you're going to discover is that how to use psychology to communicate with people, your clients, how to establish best practices so that you actually have a freaking process, and how to create a customized experience is number 3. So I want to tell you, after I coached, and again, this guy helped me so much. This is why I'm so passionate about coaching and helping other people. Like, I really ran with what I learned. Like, it seems so simple, but implementing what successful people did is where I started. And like, I started to change things slowly but surely. And I began to get more confident in what I was doing. So I started to get bigger and better weddings. Like, I actually knew when to say no, that this is not a good fit. And I finally started to get my time back. And it really took a whole 24 months to get there because I was testing things as I was going. So I hope that this can like fast track you guys. So I want to share a quick rave from a client, Heather, and what she was thinking, because I want you to know that like you're not alone. She told me it was so hard to hear the realities of what was going on with her company. She said, I ultimately was embarrassed, ashamed, and quite frankly felt stupid. I'm a smart person. I feel like that I should have known these things and what you're saying to me. And while it was very different to hear the realities of business, I have to admit that there was somewhat of a burden that has been lifted from my shoulders and mine. In my gut, I knew that I was on the wrong track, but I didn't know how to fix it, how to acknowledge it, and a whole lot of flurry emotions. So basically, I validated the feelings that she had. Again, I've been there. And even it's okay. Like, it's okay. Again, you don't know what you don't know. And she said, you have no idea how liberating and how light it makes me feel to hear you say that. So I want you guys to know, like, I hope that this is the reason that you're on this webinar, is to learn how you can be a better business owner, not just take care of people and make all those dreams come true, but how to take care of you and your business. So by following this system, I finally stopped doing hundreds of events and I started to travel, and I started to book destination wedding after destination wedding, like literally traveling all over the world. Like, my friends and family, they're like, can I just come in your suitcase? And y'all, it was not glamorous. I loved the opportunities I've had to like travel everywhere. But on average, like, this is a picture of me and how I normally traveled. And no, like, this is not my clothes and my shoes. Like, I'm usually in my pajamas when I'm traveling. This is what it looks like when you don't have a Target or a Hobby Lobby 15 minutes from you. Like, it's called the private island life and planning ahead. So while I thought traveling would be like so much fun, I honestly figured out how challenging it was, and it really is hard work. But when you're up for the challenge, it's all good. But what I did learn, probably the biggest lesson that I learned, is not to do it alone. So my feet would swell so bad from the heat. Like, these are my feet, TMI. But my feet would swell so bad from like allergies in the heat. Like, I couldn't even put my flip flops on. Like, I would have to go and set up barefoot, which I hate being barefoot. So you guys, I could go on and on. Like, you get the point, right? It's not as glamorous as people think. It's super rewarding. But like, these are the things people don't want to talk about in the industry. They don't want to talk about the hard times and how sometimes like we just want to pull our hair out because we're creatives. We love to create for people, but we don't know how to run a business. And we just show the perfection and the pretty. Like, I just can't do it anymore. So I don't understand, like, why are we not educating the public on how much work this is and why us creatives need to be paid for our time? Like, think about attorneys. Everybody knows, I feel like, in the United States, if you call your attorney, they know, hey, you're going to get billed $375 an hour or whatever they charge. So just because, they went to law school, or just because a doctor goes to med school, like, we work our butts off. And so it's like one of the top most stressful jobs. I don't make it stressful. I don't tolerate that. I have figured out how to run my business. And so by now, I hope you know why I'm doing this and why I'm teaching this, because I don't want you to have to go through what I did. I wish that someone could have helped me fast track. But guess what? Whenever I was growing my business, all of this great technology like webinars and stuff didn't exist. And it was really, really hard lessons, and I wouldn't change any of them. Well, like maybe a few. But I know that this system works because I've done it. I've lived it. So these are the things you cannot buy in stores. I don't want to get a little cheesy on you, but this is just for real. Like, this is how I feel. Like, no amount of money can buy back time. And so a lot of people think that love and dreams and friends and a wish come true and happiness, that money can buy all of those things. Actually, people do really think that. But I know for a fact, in working with a lot of people who are extremely wealthy, money doesn't make you happy. And the one thing that I for sure know is you can never buy your time back. You can never buy back your memories that you have with your friends and with your family. So thank God I did something to change my business, to get control of it, because personally I didn't know what was really in store for me. I didn't sit around and think about it. Like, I was doing good. Like, we were building our team and business was going great and everything was on track. And then my family started to crumble. My dad, the rock of our family, he got cancer and he fought it for several years before he went to heaven last year. And being able to be there for him and take him to treatments, and it just would have been possible like if I had a 9 to 5 job. I can barely get through this part because, if you've ever had anyone die from cancer, even when they're fighting, like, cancer just sucks. Anybody feel me out there? It's like cancer affects like 1 in 3 people, and it's really an awful thing. And then my sweet little sister, who has 4 freaking kids, she was diagnosed with ALS. Like, we don't know where that came from. And even being in the healthcare industry, I had no idea what it was. And so I had heard of Lou Gehrig's disease, but I didn't really know what it meant or what it did. And so ALS, like, it attacks your nervous system. Like, you think just fine, but you basically can't control your body or anything. It's like the saddest thing to watch. However, she has a ton of support and she has an amazing husband, and I help her with her kids, and my brother helps her, and there's probably like 15 different women that actually help her raise her kids. And so I have started to really evaluate my time. Like, I never know what day of the week it is. Do you guys? Like, I know that whenever I am working a weekend, like, it never really mattered to me. But now that the kids are getting older, like, I actually want to be there for them because their mom just can't. So let's talk about time. Like, what are you doing with your time? How are you spending your time? We spend more time at work than we do with our family. Do y'all believe that? Or is that just me? I know everybody says that. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Efrain, you lost your dad too. Doesn't it suck? Like, I miss him every day. Thank you, Ashley. It's funny because my sister's name is Ashley too. So I just want to say, like, you really have to really evaluate like what you're doing with your time. Like, time is so precious. And like, young people say time is money. And old or sick people, my dad and my sister, say time is precious. They think about it all the time because they don't have a lot of time. And so, going back to this question, why am I sharing this system? Like, I can't take it to the grave with me. Like, this is my why, because we only have so much time. Life is short, and I want to make the best of it. So I decided to share my full story and my business journey so that you can see that I've been there too. I get weekly emails from people. They're like, how have you done this? And so I finally carved out time in my schedule to really start teaching and helping others. You got to shut the noise out and learn the system. So I challenge you to think about and evaluate, what do you do with your time? And do you like what you're doing with your time? All right, so enough about me. I want to jump into the system. So get ready to write a few things down, or you can take pictures of the screen with your phone. So write this down. Psychology, first step to the profit system. And basically, it's all about personality and communication and how to use the psychology and how to communicate based on someone's personality. This is everything. This is so, so, so important. So what this system will show you is how to pre-qualify clients before wasting time, like before you ever even meet with them, how to hire the right people and grow your team, and how to communicate with your team members, your clients, and your vendors. I loved this system so much. I learned it back in healthcare, but I actually went and got certified. I wrote a book for the industry. My attorney's like, no, you can't do that. This stuff is copywritten. I'm like, what does that mean? So I had to go and do that and get certified. And so I just continued to become such a nerd, but it's absolutely fascinating and has made me really, really understand that when someone's telling a story, like revealing a story, how are you listening? And are you listening the way that the person's revealing the story? So in the middle, you have understanding. And as a planner and working in an emotional money spending industry, I have noticed that most of the time people don't understand. They have no clue what we go through and how to listen. Does anybody feel that way? Is that just me? So I want to start off by saying we're going to do a fun little exercise here. I know some of you on here, you've already done this, but it'll be a great refresher. And it can change based on your environment. So I want you to know everyone has all 4 colors. So I want you to look at the pictures. We've got orange, blue, gold, and green. And I want you to write down just by looking at the pictures or type it in the chat box. Like, let me know which color pops out at you. So which one pops out at you most based on the pictures? So Christina's green. Oh, Curry, you said you just did it again today. That's awesome. Cassie said red, so orange. Aaron's blue. Ephraim's blue. So this should be really fun, especially if you've never done this before. Flossie Ray. Ooh, I love your name. Is that your real name? Blue. So write that down because it may change after I go deeper into this. So the next thing I want you to choose is the color based on looking at the pictures. Which one is least like you? Like, you're like, yeah, that's not me at all. And again, everybody has all 4 colors, but most people, they have a brightest color and a palest color, which we really know is strengths and weaknesses in the business world. But this is just a funner way to do it. And then I want you to put the other colors in order. So don't think too hard about it. Like, what's your first instinct? So we've got green, Sharonda's green, Pam's green, gold picture is the least for Flossie. All right, so it's most important when I move forward that you know the one that is most attractive and least attractive. So write down those colors, last chance, because now we're going to jump into the fun. I don't have time to go through it all today. I'm going to give you guys like the most important information, like high level, so that you can, like, once you get off this webinar, really know how to understand and perceive people. Ready? All right. So orange. Orange people, they act on a moment's notice. They really consider life here and now. They're impulsive. They're generous. They need fun. They need variety. They're optimistic. They value skill, resourcefulness, courage. They're natural troubleshooters. They're performers. And typically they're competitive. My brightest color is orange, but I'm actually not competitive at all. So this is the most important thing I'm going to talk about probably this entire day is reframing and how to know how other people perceive you and also how you can customize the message. So if you're not orange, what you need to think about. So if you are orange, others may perceive you as goofing off too much. You're manipulative. You're untrustworthy. You can't stay on task. You're scattered. You take unnecessary risks. You don't like closure. You don't want to make decisions. You're obnoxious. You're immature. You're self-centered. And then orange, we perceive ours. For those of us, Cassie, you said Cassie's orange. So do we have any other oranges on here? Am I the only orange? Oh, Christina's on here. Any more oranges? So, okay. This is how I perceive myself and those of us who are orange. We're flexible. We're easygoing. We have a playful attitude. We explore new possibilities. We're clever. We're good negotiators. We're open to change. We have many interests. We're able to do a lot of things at once. We're adventurous. We value freedom, and we're bold and assertive. So, Christina, I know you said that orange was your least. And so, something to think about reframing is remember when you're working with others who are high orange, how can you add them to your team to work with them, not against them? Okay, so just something to think about. So gold people, they follow the rules and they respect authority. They're loyal, dependable, prepared. They have a strong sense of what's right and wrong. They're really punctual and they need to be useful and they need to belong. They're very faithful. They're stable. They're organized. They value freedom and home and they're caring and they're concrete. They're just overall good citizens, honestly. I grew up with two gold parents, okay? So reframing, since I'm actually not, I have a lot of gold, okay, in me because I was raised that way. And in healthcare, I had to be that way, but it actually didn't make me the happiest. So others perceive gold as being rigid, they're inflexible, they're controlling, bossy, too serious, they're opinionated, they lack imagination, they're judgmental, they're boring, they're uptight, they're predictable. They perceive themselves as being very consistent. They provide structure. They're goal oriented. They're firm. They're traditional. They do know right from wrong. They're loyal to an organization. They're realistic. They're decisive. They seek closure. They're extremely dependable. They're concerned about security. They follow a routine and they have leadership ability. Oh, and they always follow the speed limit. Usually they hate running late. All right, let's move on to blue. So, blue needs to feel unique and authentic. So blue people, they're very sympathetic, they're personal, they look for meaning in life and they want to live a significant life. They're warm, they're compassionate, they contribute, they need to encourage and they need to care. They're very spiritual, they're sincere, they value integrity and unity in relationships. They're peaceful, they're flexible, they're natural romantics and nurturers. So a lot of us in the events industry and hospitality industry, we're blue because if you're not blue, if you don't have a lot of blue in you and you're taking care of people, I don't know how you're doing it. So reframing for blue. Others may perceive you as very emotional, you're oversensitive, you're mushy, too tender-hearted, you are easily persuaded, you're too nice, you're too trusting, you smother people, you're too soft, you're too giving, you talk too much. And blues perceive themselves as being very compassionate, they're romantic, they're just ideal people, they're empathetic, they truly care. They see the best in others, they're nurturing people, they like to please people, they really want harmony, and they're great communicators. So moving on to green. We got a lot of greens on here today. Greens seek knowledge and understanding. They're analytical and global. They're conceptual. They live life by their own standards. Right, Catherine? Cool, calm, and collected. Greens need explanations. They want answers. They're logical. They're perfectionists. They value intelligence and insight and fairness. They're abstract. They're hypothetical, investigative. They're natural nonconformist, a visionary, and a problem solver. So reframing with green. Efron, you said, oh my God, blue is so me. Right? Isn't this fun? Like, this is a fun way of learning about yourself and how other people perceive you. So with green, some people, if they're not green, they may see you as arrogant. You're a know-it-all. You're cold. You're hard. You're insensitive. Your head's in the clouds. You're afraid to open up. You're critical. You're lacking compassion. You're intellectually demanding. You're argumentative. You're absent-minded. But greens, they perceive themselves as being very confident. They're mentally tough. They're logical. They're rational. They're visionaries, inventive. They're self-controlled. They enjoy one's company, meaning they can play golf alone, they can watch a movie alone, they can eat alone, and they are just fine. It does not mean that your spouse is cheating on you if they want to do things alone. I actually had somebody come up and say that to me. Anyway, they're good at analytics. They're objective. They have the ability to reprimand. Don't ever ask a blue to reprimand because they'll probably puke. They really have high expectations. They're very knowledgeable and they think very deeply. So before I move on really, really quickly, I just want you to know opposites attract. So I oftentimes get gold brides and orange grooms because orange people need to help. We need help being managed by gold people who have their crap together. And blue people and green people tend to attract. And so in first marriages, opposites attract. So I even use this with my clients and they actually freaking love it, because instead of me saying like, oh, don't be a brat and don't be a bridezilla or don't be a groomzilla or don't be a CEOzilla, like I can just refer back to the colors and they quickly remember. So it's a really great way to work with your clients. And so there's multi-billion dollar companies like Google uses this system, Boeing uses it, Disney, Microsoft, like that's just a few. So what you need to know, like honestly, the takeaway, the little reminders, what you need to know is how people perceive you and identify who do you want to work with. Typically you attract the people like you are, like you're happiest like that. But if you have a team with all four colors, you actually can work with all types of clients and crush it. You just have to know how to communicate with them and identify the most effective way to communicate with them. Oh my God. Like I have so many stories about couples. I can't go into it because I promised I would not go off on any tangents today. But have y'all heard like opposites attract? If any of you guys are married or you have a partner or you're in a relationship, like, or do you feel that way? Are you the same color? Are you opposites attract? I would love, love, love to know. And so, guys, this is something you honestly can implement like immediately. I promise you, it is life changing. And what you want to know is like, oh, one thing before I move on. Once I went through and described some of those different colors, did anybody change their mind? Did anybody say, oh, actually, after hearing that, that's not really me? And you changed if you changed your order, I just want to let you know really quick, it actually means something. So if you did change any of your colors, which is totally fine, what that means is that it's indicating you feel best when making decisions when there's a visual and an analytic resource. Like, funny story, really quick. I found these sombrero hats online for a Hispanic party that we were planning, and they were so cute and so cheap. And they show up at my door, and they're like Barbie doll size. I'm like, oh my God, I needed like life size, like real people hats. And so the girl that was working with me at the time, which my right hand always has to be super, 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 super high, high gold because I need help like reading the fine print. And so she's like, will you stop shopping online for our clients because you always make mistakes, which was true because I don't read the fine print. So I just, those are the funny things. So I want you to understand like the difference between value and price and how you can educate clients based on their color and based on their personality. Because remember, like price is what people are going to pay and value is what you get. So the value that you can bring to the table, that's what you've got to get really good at communicating to people so they will understand to pay you what you're worth. You shouldn't have to haggle with these prices going back and forth. And you know what? If you're constantly adding value, why should your clients have an issue with the price? Like when you eat a hamburger, you're not like to your server, how much is the ketchup? How much is the mustard? How much is the tomato? How much is the lettuce? Like how much is the cheese? Like it just doesn't work like that in the real world. So step 2, ready? Step 2 of the profit system is having a solid system. So write that down. You want to have a system. So here's a few key points where you can establish best practices, really identifying a business process. And how you can do this is once you establish a practice, you can educate and guide clients, which actually helps you pre-qualify clients. And so the most important thing about this is it will show you how to sell without saying a word because our pictures are insanely organized and we do a ton of video. And so I don't have to sell aggressively because our pictures and our video speak for themselves. And it's awesome to have people leave voicemails and they're like, oh my God, I don't know how much you cost, but I want to hire you. I saw this video or I saw this wedding that you did in these pictures. Oh my gosh. And so how to share value with movement and then how to communicate that value. Again, people just don't understand what we do in this industry. So I want you to think about it for a second. Think about your brand and brand process. Are you educating your potential clients the way you want them to see you. So I want you to think about it. If you drink coffee and you go get it every morning, do you go to Starbucks or do you go to the gas station? Type it in the chat box. Let me know. I'm just wondering, how many of you would prefer Starbucks and how many of you just run by the gas station? I don't really love coffee, but when I need some caffeine, I'm going to go to Starbucks, okay? Because they have done a wonderful job. So Aaron's like, Starbucks, Ashley, Starbucks, Pam, Starbucks. See, so the brand of Starbucks educating the world, not just in the United States, literally the whole freaking country, that their brand, it delivers value. It is exactly what you want. And commodities, like at the gas station, no offense, but they compete on price. So, of course, the gas station coffee is going to be cheaper and the Starbucks is going to be more expensive because it's a value and you're getting exactly what you want. So, I will say, what do you want to be? What do you want to be in your business?
It's 8:00.
Is the difference that like your potential clients, like can they tell? Can they tell if you are adding value through your brand, or do you just look like another gas station? I don't mean that in a mean way, y'all. So it's like when clients come to you, when our couples come to us and business owners we work with, like this is how they feel. They are freaking lost. And clients are coming to you to produce a product for their event. If you're in the events industry, I'm assuming most of you are. And so how you're guiding them matters. How you're educating them matters. How you're helping and sharing matters. They're looking to you as the expert to help them find their way. Like that's why they called you in the first place. So sprinkling education in there and sharing your experience, like it's a really great technique and it really works in building value. So do y'all have people that call you that say this? I don't need a wedding planner. All my pins and crafts and fantasies will just magically fall into place while I get my makeup done. Like there are potential clients who have this mentality. They say, like, they'll call or email or fill out our website form and they'll say, I'm looking for a day of planner. And in my head, like, I just want to scream. I want to, like, I've had to, like, learn how to control myself and just educate these people that just don't know what they're talking about. So I'm like, okay, listen to what you just said. You don't know what you need, first off. And a planner plans. So usually for a year, okay? And there are day of directors who can direct your wedding, but in my experience, which it's almost been 20 years, this translates to setting someone up for failure. And guess what? Perfection takes planning, okay? So I don't know who started this rumor in our industry about, oh, people will just do it for free because it's fun, and oh, everything will just magically happen like we had that Harry Potter wand, okay? It doesn't happen. So we have to, as professionals, educate our clients because you know what? The television shows and all the crap online, it ain't helping, okay? So one way to prepare is to have a process for potential clients to look through your pictures. And you know what? I actually have people that intern with me, super young, but they want to own their own business. They're like, Angela, I don't have any pictures. I'm like, okay, you can use mine. Just reference where they came from and say inspired by designer and planner. Or you can do Pinterest boards. And as long as you have a strategy, which Pinterest is a whole nother topic about being inspired, but you've got to have your pictures organized. Like we've got them organized by product, by venue, by client name. And when we're with potential clients, it creates this organized experience for the potential client to see how we have it together. Now, if a client says, well, have you ever worked here? Have you ever worked there? Like, do you have any pictures of that? I actually love saying, actually, I prefer to do a different floor plan and a different design for every single client. So even if I have worked there, I don't really remember because I walk into a venue as if I've never been there. So, I mean, you can only do so many weddings at the same venues over and over and over and over, right? So just think about those things. I know that you guys can't hear this, but what this is what you're seeing is a time lapse. So I time lapse a lot of my setups so that our customers understand why labor can be so expensive. So if you like one wedding we did, we had 3 hours to flip a public museum in this space. We literally had over 200 people setting up in that 3 hour time frame. It's extremely stressful. And planning something like that, it's really, really hard. And to be successful, you really have to have your team together. And so when people don't understand about the labor, I'm like, watch this time lapse and watch what we have to do in 3 hours. So educating them, again, it helps just a little bit more. It helps them to understand. So the next video, again, I don't think you guys can hear it, but this is a promo that we do every single year at the end of every year. And we put together a promotional video so that people can see some of the stuff, like a highlight of what we did over the years. And we actually capture the audio so that people can hear these true emotions. So what's happening here, we love doing first looks. Like our first look with the bride and groom and the couples is to walk in and see their party. And like, this is stuff that you like cannot recreate. Like, every single time I watch this, it gives me chills. And like, this was years ago, but people get so excited. We actually have like several first looks now. It's like the bride and groom first look, or the couple first look, or the dad and the bride first look. And now it's like the planner and the designer first look, right? So it's like doing this outline is really, really important. And so I know that these videos will help sell what we do and allow people to see what we do behind the scenes. And you know what? Planning a year ahead is probably the smartest thing someone ever taught me, because I never know what curveballs are going to be thrown at me. And so it's really, really hard for me to set goals and stay on track when I don't know what's going to be thrown at me. Anyway, you can go on my website and watch and hear that. I'm going to move on. So it's just, honestly, it's literally impossible to list out for a client exactly every single thing that you do. No matter what you do in this industry, it's a lot of steps. And so explaining what you offer, it really, really is crucial. And communicating, if you are a planner, like let's say like you're full service and you do design, and how do you set yourself apart from the competition and everybody else? So for example, we use psychology, technology to create that experience. And I tell all of our clients, there's 4 things that you need me specifically for. Other than that, I have a team. Everything else is outsourced to a team member. And these are the things that I'm actually not good at, and I don't want to do them, and I used to do them. I want y'all to know, though, I did all this by myself for like 7 years, and I worked at the hospital, and I still taught gymnastics and aerobics. I was a little bit more fit back then. I don't even know how I did it all, but you can get to this point. So the 4 things that I do for clients is their design and logistics. I spend a whole day with them. Then I go through, how do you want to spend your money? What are your priorities? Let's set a budget. I don't set a budget before design day. It is impossible to tell people how they want to spend their money or even figure it out until you understand what is important to them. I typically like to do a mock table and a final tasting about 2 months before their event to make sure they love it, they have any opportunity to make changes. And then 30 days before the event, we like to get together a whole nother day, do a timeline, and do a final vendor meeting. All the other stuff, like the contract stuff and the payments and filling in the budget spreadsheets and the phone calls and the meetings and the emails, that is all handled by another team member who's our communications director. And she's amazing at it. It actually is not the best use of my time, because I need to be out selling and helping our industry. So creating a process to set expectations with pictures and video is step 1 and 2. And I'll say step 3 is having a contract that backs up the offer of what you're selling through like visuals, the photo and the video. It's really, really crucial, you guys. And if you show value through your photos and video, you shouldn't have any problems with your clients paying you for your services. And by the way, if you ever have trouble getting pictures back or video back, hire your own people. Put that in your contract, okay? I've learned the hard way. And having a solid contract is really, really important also to outline the process of what you want to provide. If you've invested in the contract system that I was selling before the webinar prior to this, you were able to download the PDF and see that on profitability, we educate in the difference between planning and designing and how we break that out and how we get paid differently. Planning hours are actually trackable. Creative design, you cannot track creativity. Like I will get up in the middle of the night and think of something. Like you just can't track that. So that's why the design investment, which it is an investment, people are investing you to give them an amazing experience. And guys, that takes creativity. Not everybody has that gift, okay? I'm just now getting to understand that. And so that's why it's a percentage to cover the overall design, to cover my time. And so okay, we talked about this. My slides are a little bit delayed. All right, so step 3 in the profit system is creating an experience for the client. Write this down. You want to create an experience. If you want to know how to create a custom experience through business practices and back up all that stuff, y'all. So your clients, show them that you're going to take care of them and they're going to feel safe and secure with your process. So if you're not backing up your files and if you're not creating the same experience over and over and over and over, listen up. Oh, by the way, so based on what color they are is how we create the experience. But the way we do it is the same every single time. And I know it works. And so what's the most important thing is I want you to ask yourself and decide, is this going to be a business or is it going to be a hobby? And how are you actually going to be profitable? How do you know you're profitable? And are you going to create a security blanket? And how are you going to sell the value of your time and your ideas? Because our industry has not done a good job at educating people that these creative things that we're doing and these planning and all this organizational stuff, this stuff ain't free, right? You can tell I get super passionate. So you really have to decide, like, if it's going to be a hobby, fine, fun money. But if you're going to be a business, like this system, you got to have a system in place, guys, or you're just going to burn yourself out. You might as well just go get a job, go work at Apple, go work in healthcare, whatever you're doing. Because the 2 keys to being successful and being profitable in running a business, you've got to track your time and you have to know your overhead. And y'all, I didn't even know what overhead was. I didn't even understand the difference between all these different acronyms. I'm like, my God, in healthcare, I feel like I'm reading an ICD-9 code book or something with all these different codes that my accountant would throw out at me. And your price, like your price and what you're charging, it needs to be determined on what you're doing and your business model and what's going to be best for you, not what your competitor is doing down the road. That should not matter because you are adding value. And so by tracking all of your overhead, you should know how much it takes you to actually run a business. So I oftentimes meet with people and I'm coaching them in the very beginning and they're like, oh, I work from home. I don't have any overhead. Bullshit. You still have overhead, okay? You drive a car, you put gas in your car, unless you're in New York City or Chicago. You pay for a website, probably. You probably pay for your email, your cell phone, your computer, your iPad. If you have office space, if you take clients to lunch, dinner, coffee, and you pay for it, you've got marketing material like business cards. If you do social media ads, even if you're using social media for free, you're still using your time, and your time is very valuable. And all the softwares that you might use and manage. My accountant thinks I have a problem with software, okay? Then if you have insurance and you have to pay taxes, like y'all, it adds up so freaking fast. So these items are just operating cost. So before you make a penny, you have to pay to run the business. So stop working for free. Figure that shit out. Figure out how much. Like I know how much I have to make every single month to pay for all of our business expenses before I ever even make a dime. So do you think it's hard for me to tell a client we're just not a good fit? Hell no. So when starting the tracking process, like it's going to open your eyes up to so much. And literally, like we track everything now. Like I'm kind of psycho about it. It doesn't always have to be like, so it wasn't fun in the beginning, but after doing it for literally 12 months, which in our industry, like 12 months, it goes by so fast. Like this information's power, like it brings you confidence and again, you can say no real easy. When a client is trying to get you to lower their prices, it's like, this is a business. So put in some hours, work hard, and it will pay off. I promise you. So this is just an overview, a quick snapshot. And I know it's blurry on purpose, but I just wanted to show you, by tracking your time on an online calendar, it really creates a safety net. And if it's correctly hooked up, you can delegate your calendar, you can share your calendar, you can color code, you can do whatever. Like, consistency is the key here. So for me, the red is meetings, things I have to do. Green is behind the scenes work that I do or our team members do. That's billable time to the client. Orange is personal, family, and blue indicates things that I need to do, to just do at home. So think about what's going to work for you and your lifestyle. And I bet you every single one of you on this webinar have a freaking smartphone, and you probably take it to the bathroom with you. Okay. Like, let's be honest. So if you use your calendar and you know that it's syncing correctly, then why aren't you using your calendar? Does everybody use their online calendar? Give me some yeses. I hope so. If not, and you've got an iPhone, like, open that calendar. Okay. So in addition to the calendar, I also used to use an app. It was free at the time. It was called Hours Keeper. And so, and I know there's a lot of programs out there that can help you track your time, like QuickBooks does it. I think they have an integration now. So if you really mean business, guys, why would you not track your time? Like, you've got to understand, where the heck is your time going? So if any of you feel like you're drowning in paper, give me some yeses. And if you need help, I'm your girl. There is an easy and free solution, y'all. All right, so we've got some yeses on some calendar and paper, and right? Isn't it the best thing ever? Like, I love my online calendar. Like, my life lives by it. Although I can be flexible because I'm orange, but I do get slightly irritated when my calendar and my schedule gets off a little bit. So if you feel like you're drowning in paper, okay, listen, I'm going to say it again. Free people. There's a free solution, and it will back up your stuff. So instead of opening up a Word or Excel file on your computer, we're going to re-potty train your brain to open up a new document in Google Drive. And if you don't know what Google Drive is, that's okay. If you have a Gmail, which I feel like 100% of the world does now, you actually have Google Drive. You just don't know it. And if you have templates, so you're not doing the same thing over and over, and you create the documents in Google Drive, it creates a safety net and a clutch. So if anything ever happens to your computer, you can log on from anywhere to your Google account and get your files. And there's lots of other reasons that I love it. Okay. I need to be better at this. What app do you recommend? So Hours Keeper for tracking your time. I'll make sure to come back to questions in just a little bit. So the secret, honestly, to using Google Drive, so this is just a quick overview snapshot of our Google Drive. You got to make folders, like manila folders. So like, just think of a, traditional filing cabinet. I'm showing my age here a little bit, but we've come so far, and you've got to name your documents so that you can find your stuff. So what people often do is they don't take 2 seconds to name their stuff. And then they're like, I hate Google Drive. I hate Dropbox. I can't find anything. Well, guess what? Because you're not naming your stuff. And when you know that your phone is syncing with these free apps, you can access everything on the go. Everything. You can even get in and like edit your documents if you have Sheets and Docs on your phone. And y'all, again, it is free. Okay. So this is also the case with Dropbox. We use Dropbox and Google Drive very differently in our office, but I can tell you, because I've tracked it for over a year by using Dropbox and Google Drive and sharing a Dropbox and a Google Drive folder with each of our clients, it's decreased our email about 300 a day. Okay. So we get a lot of freaking emails, right? Not just from our clients, but all these people that think that we're going to drive business to them. So I just want you to think about that. How are you labeling your online folders, and how are you backing things up, and where are you starting your documents? So this cartoon, I love this picture. It's so freaking accurate. So when teaching technology and productivity classes, I know it's not sexy, you guys, but it will change your life. Curry, you're on here. Back me up. Has it changed your life or what since you've came to the last productivity class? So a lot of my students and clients, like they just don't know what they don't know. They're intimidated by technology. They don't know anything about the cloud. And y'all, this is not hard. Like it literally just takes a little bit of time to set it up. And a lot of people get frustrated and they're just like, screw this, and they go back to old habits. And as business owners, like we are constantly taking care of other people. And if we don't stop to take care of ourselves, y'all, something is going to happen. So you can't say when you get off this webinar, you didn't know. Okay. So like real quick, like my identity was stolen a few years ago because I kept using the same password for everything, like over and over and over. And basically that's just asking a hacker to hack you. Okay. So that happened to me. It's a disaster. That's a whole nother subject and a whole nother nightmare. I'll do a webinar on on passwords one day because that is a super, super, super sore spot. Okay. So to sum up what you need for step 3 of the profit system, you want to set up your calendar online and start tracking your time. Track your expenses so you know what you need to make before you actually make a profit to run a business. Y'all, I'm serious. Back up your files, use Dropbox, use Google Drive so you know that they are safe. And also create templates so that you don't have to do it over and over. And think about sharing them with your clients. I know some planners think that I'm crazy, but this actually builds a lot of trust. Let's see, Cassie, you said I'm a new planner, but Google Drive was the first thing I did. You should. Isn't it amazing, right? Clients absolutely love it. So this is a friend of mine, Tara. She implemented this exact system that I'm sharing with you guys. And she said, I want to thank you so much for taking the time out, share your process. It was definitely an eye-opener and very beneficial for me and my company. I began implementing a lot of changes, tracking my time by client to get a better gauge on charging, recreating my contract to include boundaries, which I'm still trying to make things a bit more crystal clear. Those of us who are blue have a hard time. Working to change my mindset on how to implement and schedule everything, and working on my website to better pre-qualify clients. There's so many cool things with your website that you can do to pre-qualify. So, quick recap. Okay, so far, what we have discovered. Has anybody had any like aha moments? Like, oh, I didn't think about that. I'm just wondering. I like to pull people so I know where I can best help. So, type it in the chat box. So, if you don't understand the psychology part, that's okay. Like, I will give you this system. You can communicate, customize the message for clients. You can save a ton of headaches. Having a process, creating that process that you can communicate to your clients, which really is educating them and guiding them, which turns into dollars. And sharing experiences, crafting an experience that provides a safe strategy and backing up your stuff to show your clients you have it under control. So, what we have found is once our clients implement this stuff, like these things start to happen. So, they put healthy boundaries in place. Clients actually start to respect your time. Okay. I never thought that I would get that. You have to earn that. I learned that the hard way. They became profitable and they actually charge on value versus people just calling around being like, how much do you cost? How much do you cost? How much do you cost? I never answer that question. It's like, if you're calling me on price, I'm not your girl because I provide value. So the overall outcome for our clients is that they love their job, they're profitable, they have their time back, they know what they're doing with their time, and they actually have a safe system in place. So if something were to happen, like someone could pick up and keep going with that event. So I know I've thrown a lot of information at you, but if you just don't hear one thing, okay, I want you to get this one thing, that you don't want to keep going like a hamster on a wheel. And you've got to do something different if you want something you've never had. Okay. So I don't know about y'all, but I definitely felt this way, like a hamster. And actually, you know, obviously we're not dogs over here. We're people, and people have to recharge. And by doing something different, sometimes it gives us a little recharge. So I want to tell you again, this is the one thing I want you to know. Time, again, is precious. How are you spending your time? Do not do the things that you don't want to do. Get control of your time and do not wait for a tragedy to take action and implement change. Y'all, I know change is hard. I've done it. I've lived every single thing that I am telling you. So if you want to implement the 3-step system, psychology, process, experience, like into your everyday business life, and I really hope that everything that I've shared with you, you can take a little bit of that and accomplish something that you want to do. I want to clear your mind of the head trash. So like, I don't know about you guys, but if anyone's ever told you like, you can't do this, you need a secure job, you can't do what you love making a living, because people used to tell me that you may live and work in a small town and you may never work with people in the public eye. Like that's not the point to this system. Like when you love what you do and who you work with, like it doesn't really feel like work. And so don't you want to get up every morning and like serve the clients that you actually love serving? And while you're making their dreams come true, like as cheesy as it sounds, you're making your own dreams come true. Okay. Like I hate it when people say, oh my God, you're so lucky. You get to do this and do that and love every day and get paid for it. And like what I don't get is like, why doesn't everybody do this? And like I do know why. It's freaking hard. And if it was easy, everybody would do it. That's one of my favorite sayings. But by following this system, you can get paid what you're worth when you know how to communicate it. So now, like okay, so I don't view this as being lucky. Like success with business is actually very intentional. It's taken a lot of hard work, surrounding myself with the right people, getting rid of friends that were energy vampires, putting people in my life that were truly there to help me. It's been a lot of trial and error. And I would say not really wasting money, but actually spending money to learn better opportunities and investing in myself and in the company. So I've learned to reframe and say it's very rewarding and it's an honor to be able to serve others, especially when they're very emotional about their money, and serving them in this capacity while I'm doing my passion. So again, it's not luck, y'all. You got to be very strategic and set goals. So would you like more time, like for yourself, your family, and doing the things that you love? And if you are the hamster on the wheel, like let's get you off, okay? So working with clients that actually value your time is amazing. And so how would you feel? Like how would you feel if you can provide for yourself, your family, and just like live life the way that you actually deserve it using the actual skills that make you happy? So I can make this happen, okay? Isn't this guy so much fun? This is a little dancing line that we had at one of our weddings. So, like, are you with me? Like, am I losing anybody? Like, if you're excited, give me some yeses, give me some hands. Is it just me? Like, I get super excited when I'm like sharing this. So, 2 things, okay? 2 choices, left or right, left or right. So, I want to know, are you a number 1 where you want results fast? You want the easy way. You like to be guided and you need to make money. Or number 2, which y'all, this was me for the longest time. I like trial and error. Like I like the long way. I like a lot of mistakes. It's cost me a lot of money. So I'm telling you now, like if you really are a 1, I would love the opportunity to show you the system because I know for a fact it'll change your life and your business. If you're a 2, maybe you'll come around. Let me know if you're 1 or 2. So a couple of people say, aha. So yes, stop working for free, girl. Like stop. Your time is so valuable. Okay, so here's the solution. I'm going to show you if you're ready. So the solution, again, the profit system. And before jumping into the system, like I want to tell you, this is not going to be for everybody. And there's going to be a reason, actually a couple of reasons. It's not for you if you don't want to commit the time, because you do have to put time into perfecting something. Okay. So if you don't have the time, pass for now. If you're fine with your clients and what you're doing now, pass. Maybe you can come back to it when things aren't going so well. And if you don't understand the value in investing in yourself and ROI, return on investment. So what is the return on investment? Y'all, I didn't even know what ROI meant. Like, again, going back to all those acronyms, I'm like, wait, what? I'm like trying to figure out what that means. So it's like, what do you want? Okay, do you want to love your job, get paid what you're worth, spend time with family and friends without feeling bad about it, have a solid process, feel good about it? Like, what exactly do you want? Like, what is important to you? I know what's important to me in serving people, but I want to know, like, what is important to you? All right, so we got some number ones. Ashley, Christy, yay! So, what you get with this whole system is everything I just showed you. So, you're going to get a ton of stuff, a ton of value, a ton value. So I want to show you. So on the psychology side in module 1, and there's 3 modules, 3 steps to this whole system. Personality and communication part 1. I'm going to go through the whole personality and the whole communication methodology, how to pre-qualify clients. I'm talking so fast, I get so excited. And then also how to do your website and your intake forms based on psychology on how you want to pull in your clients. So when I normally do this just one-on-one, it's $3,200. And that's not what you're going to pay today because you're on the webinar. We got a great deal. Okay, promise. So process, module 2, education and guidance on having a process. Part 1, I'm going to teach you how to sell with pictures and organize them and name them. And it's not what you think, I promise. Part 2, selling with video. Even if you don't have a budget for a professional videographer, guys, again, all of you freaking have smartphones. I'll show you how to do both and how to create a promo outline and how to communicate it in your contract that if you're not going to get pictures and video professionally back, again, you budget that in your marketing budget. You have your own person come because that's the best way we can sell. So whenever I teach this portion, again, one-on-one, the value $42.59. Again, not what you're paying today. So experience, sharing experience, module 3. Oh, my dog wants to talk now. So module 3, business and back up your stuff. So in part 1, we're going to go through tracking your time, how to do it. Part 2, I'm going to give you all the templates that I use and how to back up your stuff by using templates. And then part 3 is naming the files and sharing those files. So when I teach that, total value $23.99. So let's recap quickly because I have to share the value with you guys because I'm giving you all a really awesome deal because I want you to learn this system. So first, module 1, psychology, again, value is there. The process, module 2, all about, it's not all about personality and communication, but the value in the process is selling with pictures and video. And that is the value. And the experience, it looks like I just did personality and communication, which actually is the entire thing, the one thing to understand in doing all of this and creating an experience based on someone's personality and communication. So the total value for all 3 of these steps, because it typically takes me at least a week to sit with someone one-on-one. So the total value is $9,857. And I know it seems like a lot of money, but also if you sign up tonight, you get these bonus items. And so by signing up, let me go through the bonuses because these are the contract templates. And again, these are going to be completely ready to use. They're in Word docs. All you have to do is put your company information and your logo in. Obviously, before you use the templates, you're definitely going to want to get through module 1 so you understand how to communicate the contract based on the client's personality. So typically we sell the contract for $1,500. So this is just a quick snapshot of what this contract looks like. I do want to recommend get an attorney in your city to look over it, but this is the payment schedule and the terms and conditions, and you can use it and change it however you want to. But a lot of people's contracts that I look over, they don't have a cancellation policy. They have no terms and conditions. They don't have anything about extra labor covering their butt. And I actually had to write an immoral clause into this because of the way some of our past clients a long time ago, how they were treating me and my team. So like, I'm not going to put up with that. Also, legally, you want to have a credit card form so that clients can fill that out. So I'm also going to give that to you. So that's just a quick overview. Bonus 2, I'm going to give you the timeline template. Again, completely ready to use. Whenever we do templates for other companies, that value, let's see, $1,000, $9.99. So this is just a quick overview of how we do our load in and our load out. And we do all the ceremony stuff, all the hair, all the makeup, all the stuff for all of the VIPs. And you can actually take this template and do it for any type of event. We use it for baby showers and conferences. Obviously, each template is going to be designed for whatever event that you're doing. Post ceremony, if it's for a wedding, on and on and on. Our timelines usually end up being about 30, 40 pages, depending on how much detail. All right, so bonus 3 is going to be the Excel budget spreadsheet that has lots of different tabs in it. And the RSVP tab is probably the most important. Clients love that we offer to keep up with that because I'm psycho-anal about perfection, especially if we're giving an entree choice to their guest. I want to make sure that it's kept up with appropriately. So whenever we build that for clients, the total value is $19.99. So this is just a quick snapshot of all of the big things that people need when they're planning specifically a wedding. And again, whenever we do events, we customize the budget based on what the client's needs are. On the RSVP, couple little tips. Not sure if you guys do this, but we actually try to take care of the rehearsal experience as well and the dinner, so that all weekend is amazing. So if they have a brunch, I want to be the planner and designer for all 3 days, not because of the money. It's because of the experience. I want people to have a wonderful experience. Another thing we do is we ask them who drinks what. We try to track the alcohol to at least come up with a budget. And who needs transportation? Because why spend thousands of dollars renting buses when people may stay downtown, they may walk, or they might want to rent a car? You need to ask those things. This is a tab of an overview of all the meetings. So you'll see in yellow specifically at the top to do with planner, design day, budget priorities, mock, and final meeting. Those are the 4 things in yellow at top. Everything else beyond this, like I'm a color code queen, they can do it on their own. You give them the important dates and just follow up. You can do things without spending your time and strategizing with these clients. You don't have to be there for every like itty bitty little thing. Bonus 4. So the first 20 people that sign up today on air, you're going to get a video that I've made that gives you the inside scoop on Pinterest. So basically what it's going to do is I go through the video and show different Pinterest of our our personal clients, and I have their permission to do it. I want to make sure that you understand, again, the psychology so that you can actually know what people want and how you need to communicate with them even before you meet them. Like, people think I'm psychic or something, and I'm like, no, it's just called psychology. The total value of that's $5.99. So I get into their Pinterest, and on this video, I show you exactly what you need to know. And one more special bonus for today only. First 10 people that sign up, you get 2 hours of one-on-one free coaching time with me. And what I have found in people that have followed this process, they typically like to go through all the modules and make a list of questions. And then they come back and say, okay, I have questions, or I'm having challenges, or I'm getting pushback from clients. And we attack it head on. And so you get 2 free hours of one-on-one coaching with me. $500 value. I really want to help you all set goals because I never thought I could do that. It's like, how many of this do you want to do? How many of that do you want to do? And I'm like, you can't really do that. I never know how many clients are going to call me. But honestly, it's like you can control what you say yes to and what you say no to. That is so, so, so important. We all kind of need a guide on the side to like help us creatives stay accountable. And so I really want to be that person for you. As cheesy as it may sound, like I love it. And so one more recap of what you're going to get. So module 1, psychology, how to pre-qualify clients. Really, it teaches you how to get your ideal client, how you can implement psychology with the website form and using Pinterest. Module 2, process, selling with visuals, how to organize your pictures, sell with video, say it with your contract. Module 3, back up your business and run your business as a business. Track your time, how to do it. back up your documents and sell a security blanket. One of my clients said, it's like you sell insurance. It was really funny. Insurance is boring to me though, but we all need it, right? To cover our butts. So bonus 1, contract template. Bonus 2, timeline template. Bonus 3, the Excel template, which again has multiple tabs ready to use for you. So you guys, you don't have to create all this crap. I've already done it and I use it and I know that it works. And bonus 4 is the Pinterest evaluation, which is only for the first 20 people that get the process. So what is the total value with all of that added up, with all the modules? Each module has a video, 3 sections, the 4 bonus items. You get 2 free hours of coaching. If you sign up, the value $14,954. So basically $15,000, which I know to a lot of people that's a lot of money. But ask yourself, like, what is this actually worth? And how much would you pay if you closed one new client every single month? Like, what is the worth? So is it $1,000, $3,000, $5,000, $10,000, $15,000? I don't know. It depends on what market you live in, but I can tell you, it doesn't matter if you live in a small town or a big town. I know that this system works. And I mean, okay, so I don't know if you guys can see, but it really is a good deal. Like, even if I did it half off, which I would love to give it away for free, but people have to have skin in the game. Because you showed up today live, which I'm only doing this live, here's my offer to you. So the total value, again, we're going over that. That's not what you're paying. Half off, not what you're paying today. Okay, that's what I would normally do for coaching when I coach people one-on-one. So if you're up for watching videos and following templates, I will say you're special because not a lot of people can do this. So you've got 3 options, and I am sure that one of these options will work for you. So you can get started right now. We have different payment plans, and there's no interest, you guys. I did that on purpose because I want you to learn how to implement this process because I know it will make you money. I promise you. And if it doesn't work, I'll give you all your money back. So you can do one payment of $19.99, 3 payments of $667, or 6 payments for $333. So basically, you can do one payment. You can do it once a month for 3 months, or do it once a month for 6 months. So this is the link that you're going to want to go to. And I will tell you, you have to type it in exactly the way. And guys, if you have questions, stay on, and I'm going to answer questions in just a few minutes. So if you go to this link and sign up, once you sign up, you're going to get a username and a password. You'll get an email pretty immediately from me. And I just want to tell you, like, in hearing from past clients, they really recommend taking 30 days to do this system and go through the system. That's why I say in 30 days, if you've gone through this and you haven't made your money back and you don't know what you're doing, let me know because I'll give you every penny back. So this is one more rave. Zane from Zane Curl Studios, he said, by implementing your system, I completely restructured my company. I was able to save a ton on production costs just by knowing how to communicate with my crew. I cut my costs by 30%, which was coming out of my pocket. And y'all, he knows that because he's green. When I had to redo a film because I didn't know what the client wanted, because he didn't know what color they were. He cut his editing time in half by using my communication and technology processes. He chopped his hiring cost because he was able to retain the same crew. If you find out what people are driven by, guys, they stay. They like working with you. Okay, just a little bird in your ear telling you that. And so he totaled all this up, and he said it was saving him about $3,000 a month. So that's not even what I'm asking you guys to pay. Like, again, you've got your 2 choices here. The number 1, take a risk, pony up, try it, invest in myself. That's the way I want you guys to think. In our industry, we have got to help others understand the value to bring this industry up. Now, if you're number 2, again, it's fine. Do nothing. Don't take the leap of faith. Maybe it'll be for you later, but at least you now know a little bit about what you didn't know. And I do want to tell you, again, I'm putting it in writing. Take a picture with your phone, whatever you want to do. My personal guarantee is that there's no risk. I promise you, I'll give you your money back. Try it for 30 days. If you don't like it, you don't learn anything, tell me. I'll give you your money back. But honestly, the real question is the value. This is not about money to me. It's about the value that you need to be successful. So if you invested in this system and you got one more client, would that pay for it? And can you use this system like forever? This 3-step system forever. I mean, to me, it's priceless, you guys. And so I want you to know and to remember the 3 C's. I don't know if you've heard this, like this is really cute, but you must make a choice to take a chance or your life will never change. So choices and chances and change. Those are my favorite C's, just like I have favorite P's. Productive, profitability, personality. So let me show you. Take a chance, make a change. Again, here is the link. You want to type it in exactly the way that it is here. Make sure you capitalize the S in steps, T in 2, and profit with P. And it is 1 F and 1 T. It is not spelled like my last name. So if you don't sign up immediately, there's a couple reasons why I am assuming that you're not signing up. And again, like I literally want to remind you that reason 1, I don't have the money. So most of us have credit cards and like your credit card bill usually isn't even due for the next 30 days. So if you really went through the system and it's not making you any money and I give it back to you, like I'm essentially giving you the process for free. Okay. So again, my accountant, I know, thinks I'm crazy, but I believe in this system and I know it will work for you just the way it's worked for me. Reason 2, because you need to check with someone else. Well, again, it's not complicated, guys. If you don't make your money back, I'll give it back to you. And the reason, no time. So if you are saying that you don't have time to implement this, you need this more than anybody. Okay. Like you need this the most. And so like if this is too much to take in, like I totally get it. I know how you feel and you may not understand the value yet. Completely get it. But most of our clients, they feel that way. So like as we wrap up, I want to tell you, like, I'm nothing special. Like I was not good at numbers. I was not good at people, managing people, business, none of that. I was simply coached on how to do this stuff. And so again, like I said, I want to be that guide on the side for you and coach you on how to get where I've gotten. So if anybody's with me, let me know. So I know some people say I'm scared, I have no clients. Well, again, guys, you've got to invest in yourself and learn how to get those clients. So even if you don't have time or if you don't have clients or you're working another job, don't say you can't do this. I worked 3 jobs, you guys, and ran a business and I had no clue what I was doing. Okay. So try it out. Let's do it. And if you have questions, so here's a little back end of what you're going to get. So if you sign up, you get all the videos for all the modules, all the templates ready to download. So that's just a little quick snapshot behind the scenes of what the profit system looks like. So once you sign up, you get the email, you get the password, you get your username, and you're on to the game, to the races. If you've got questions, type them in the chat box. I'm happy to stick around and answer questions. I'm going to remind you one more time the 3 different choices that you have where it's 6 different payments, because last time that I taught this, there were a lot of people that were interested, but they literally said like, can I pay monthly? So I was able to work it out with my accountant, and 6 payments, it honestly was the most that we could stretch it out. So these are the 3 payments. This is the link. I would love, love, love for you to try it out. And again, if it doesn't work, if you don't learn anything, if you don't make your money back, I will give you your money back. And I truly, truly, truly mean that. So thank you so, so much for all of your time, guys. And I know that, oh my goodness, I went way over, and I know that I talked too much, but hopefully you got a ton of value out of this. And I'll stay on just a few more minutes. So if anybody has any questions, let me know. And if anybody has any trouble with the link working, because technology is not always perfect, please, please, please let me know. And also my emails, connect CONNECT at angelaprofit.com, and let me know if you have any trouble at all. So let's see. You're welcome, Ashley. Thank you for joining me. And a friend, you said I buy everything online, but it's really hard to find a website for me to buy linens and decor. Where can I buy? So Event Decor Direct is a company that I used to work with. Actually, I used to teach business classes for them. You can buy linens from them. You can buy decor. So they refer to it as EDD, but it's eventdecordirect.com. And they actually have a decorating class where they teach you how to do all this. So, and then I used to teach the business classes with them. This exact system that I'm teaching you guys tonight is what I used to teach for them. They go to 28 cities and I think 5 countries. And with technology and things growing and me not wanting to travel as much, I actually said, you know what, I'm just going to do this on my own when people are ready to understand the business side, because the decor part, that's the fun side. That's what everybody wants to do, it seems like. But again, you've got to know how to run your business to make money. So, Amanda, thank you for typing it in the chat box. Amanda typed in the link, so you can click there if you are ready. And so, Aaron, you said, so excited to record our podcast this Thursday. Yay, me too. And you had a question about which app is my favorite for tracking hours, or, oh my gosh, I have so many apps. Like, I cannot pick one. Like, if I had a gun to my head and I actually had to pick one, I would say my favorite is Marco Polo, which I actually did not even talk about that tonight, but it is the best app. It's a free video texting app, and it eliminates so much confusion with my team. And then we use BombBomb. It's a video email service that we use for our clients, and we track that. So my favorite app for tracking hours is called Hours Keeper. And when I used it years ago, it was free. And then I was able to work up, and then I got everything onto QuickBooks, and then started using QuickBooks to track that. And it's integrated with our calendar now. So Ephraim, you said, can you please show the blue picture at the beginning to finish ready? You know what, Ephraim, I've got your email. I'll email that slide, the whole blue section, if that works for you. If you want me to email it to the email that you signed up with the webinar, just let me know. Amanda, if you'll take note of that, I'll be happy to email it to you. That way I don't have to go back. It might take a minute. Aaron, awesome. Oh, you're so welcome. I'm excited to chat with you on Thursday. And we do have a podcast. So if you have something that you want to say or educate the wedding and events community, reach out to me. Amanda can set you up on how to apply for the podcast to be on that. And you're so welcome, Ephraim. I hope that you have a great day and a great night. So it looks like all the questions. You are so welcome, Pam. Thank you for joining. Any more questions? Okay, so Ephraim, where are you? Where do you live? I actually was working with a super, super, super talented decorator and caterer, and he lives in this tiny town in the middle of nowhere. And he actually, I taught him, again, to think outside of the box and to go outside of his community. And so he actually travels and takes everything on the road. You know, it took a lot of personal building to get there. So you said, is there a decor business in their name? Oh, that's not good if it's the same name as yours. Is it close to where you are? How long have you been in business? Yes, Beverly, I'm happy to send you the slides. Absolutely. How long have they been in business? So you've been in business 3 years. How long have they been in business? I'm just wondering if it would benefit you to look at a different business name. I mean, going on 20 years, I've changed my business name 4 times. So I started out as Elegant Weddings by Angela. And then when I got to do events, then I did Events by AP. that created major confusion. I had two different websites. People didn't know that I was the same girl. Then I had vividexperiences.com because that's what I do. I create a vivid experience. When people walk into a room and it's an emotional experience that they will never forget. And then people thought it was porn. Like, where is your head, people? And most people, they know me by my name. So I just surrendered to what the public was saying that the brand was. It was me. It was my name. And I have an awesome team, but probably without me, I don't know where my brand would go. Maybe my nieces would pick it up and keep going. You said, I'm not sure. I'll check. And there's a lot of differences. Well, if I can help you sort that out, let me know. I'm happy to give you some pointers, but I don't know the full story, but I would recommend maybe looking into making sure that you are eliminating that challenge from getting clients. So if they're not going to change something, or if they're not going to do something, which I don't know if you've reached out and communicated with them or not, which that's probably the first thing I would do, because what if they're going to close or sell? You never know. I feel some type of way because people will think that I did the decor when I did. Yeah, that I totally see where you're coming from. You know what, Ephraim, if it was me and that happened, I would change all my stuff because I would just take matters into my own hands and fix that shit. But again, I would recommend reaching out to them, communicate with them. I'm sure they may think the same thing about you, like, hey, there's this person. So maybe you two could, talk about it and come up with a strategy. But again, I've learned the hard way that if you want something done and if you want to communicate to the outside world and the community what you're offering, you've got to take matters into your own hands. Will this course help me grow? Oh my gosh, Christy, yes, absolutely. Like, the whole communication methodology is how we do our interns. And so I actually have been getting a lot of requests for how to do an internship program. And so I'm thinking of doing a course on that soon. I actually put together a policy and procedure manual for interns, which we require every single person to intern with us before they can continue to work with us. And I don't care if they need school credit or not. It's like dating. It's like, do I like you? And do you do a good job? And are you proactive? And are you a hard worker? And I swear, if you ask me when you can eat or tell me your feet hurt, like, you're done. Like, these people have no idea. I know you know what I'm talking about, Christy. So yes, the entire system. And let me tell you, you can't really grow an efficient team until you have processes, because the processes start at the top and then they go down. So for example, we use Wunderlist, we use Infusionsoft, we use all these softwares that my team, they're very fluent in. And that's because I know what I'm doing, because I learned how to use them. Now, I'm not the best at it, and I have hired other people, that are way better at that than me, but they help me. And so you want to make sure you have good processes before you even start to grow your team. So you're actually in a perfect place for the profit system for this course. Ephraim, yes, I will just change my name. It will be really hard, but I work so hard to get to where, yeah, like, definitely, like, again, take matters into your own hands. And you want to make sure that people know that they're coming to the right person. And again, I don't know what your relationship is, but I'd still reach out to them. Okay, I'm going to hold. Yes, Christy, you hold me to it, girl. You know I got your back. If you have any chance, where can I buy the name of my business? So I would love to help you strategize with this, and I would be happy to do some coaching time with you. So if you're not ready to jump into this process, shoot me an email, connect@angelaprofit.com. And here, I'll put it in the chat box so that connect@angelaprofit.com. Okay. So shoot me an email and I'm happy to strategize. I really, before I can say like anything and help you defining a business name, I'd really like to know like what your goals are and what you want your brand to be and your perfect client avatar. But in your city or your state or your country, you can apply online and you can change everything over. It's actually not that hard. Again, I've done it 4 times now, and I'm in the state of Tennessee. So, it costs a little bit of money tax wise and then to get insurance changed over too. But again, remember earlier when I said figure out how much it's going to cost to run a business so that you know how much you need to make and charge clients for your services so that you can run a business and make a profit. Okay. So there's my email. All right, guys, we are coming up on, oh my gosh, it is time to feed my puppies, Lily and Pepe. So I hope that you guys have a wonderful, wonderful night and a wonderful day wherever you are. Thank you so much for checking the Profit System out. And I am happy to help in any way possible. God bless all of you, and thank you so, so much. I will see you on the next training. Bye.